welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well and welcome to my anti-Valentine creations. In today's video, we're using two molds. They are both from Moulds and Shapes. They are both round lipped edge tray molds. Ugh, say that in one breath. They will be linked below. Of course, you can use CCC10 at the checkout. Now let's talk about these because they had me howling. So funny. If I had feelings, they'd be for you. If that does not make you laugh, I don't know what does. Honestly, I found these images online, okay, and I sent them to Amanda Towgood at Resin Supplies Den, and she was able to make them for me custom sized to fit these trays, which was absolutely perfect. That's why it's so amazing having Amanda. She can actually take any image you want and make it the size you need, which is brilliant. The resin I'm using in today's video is the Apex from Apex, and of course that will be linked below alongside your discount code. Okay, let's talk about it. Now, like I said, I found these images online. I believe one of the images was from the Cricut design space itself. Now, I could have had this cut from vinyl. Could I be bothered to do multi-layers in multiple different colors? Guys, you know me. Absolutely not. Then I found the image online and I found the other one and I sent them both to Amanda. The plan was to just do one of those in today's video, but most unlike me, I made a bit too much resin. So yay, we've got two trays in today's video. The first plan for me is to just fill the rim of this tray. It's one of those projects that are so simple and easy, but it's a 3-day process. You have to do the rim first and allow that to fully cure. I used the bright red Vista liquid pigment from Vista, but it's so red, like really bright, vibrant, Christmassy red, and the sticker isn't. The sticker is like vintage red. So I added just a pinch of black. I was worried it was a bit too much, but it was fine. It was absolutely perfect. I added a teeny tiny pinch of black just to dull it down and muddy it. I wanted like a muddy vintage red to match the sticker as much as possible, and it worked a dream. And it was at this moment I realized I'd made way too much resin for just the rim of this tray, which is why we ended up having two projects. I've run out of these teeny tiny resin mixing cups, so I just ordered a ton from Amazon. So handy to have. I think I ordered a pack of 50. If I can find them, I'll link them below for you guys. But yeah, using one of these is imperative to filling up these really thin rims. So yeah, this tip, pinching the handle, was something that you guys told me to do years ago, and I've been doing it ever since, and it is one of the best pieces of advice. Thank you so much. These little pots come with a tiny little triangular spout and a handle, and actually the spout is almost useless. So it was you guys that said, Claire, like, pinch the handle. Trust me, your life will be changed. And it was. I've sped this section up for you because I was taking my sweet time filling up this rim. Of course, any spills can just be cleaned up with a wipe or a cotton bud or anything you have to hand, a micro brush tool. I just grabbed some cotton buds and just cleaned up the edges a little bit. I don't want this red to be out of that rim. And of course, to the left of the screen, you can just see me here pouring the rest of that red into the druzy edge of another Moulds and Shapes mold. I was like, okay, it looks like we're doing two, okay, because I've made way too much resin. Now, I wanted to colour match the background as much as I possibly could to the sticker. I was thinking this pigment, this like shell stroke, a little bit of white, a little bit of cream or brown-esque colour. I don't want the background to be white. I don't want it to clash against the beigey, grungy brown of the sticker. So that was my plan. I have mixed up a huge cup of resin. This is where my hands really struggle. So I just scrape the edges, scrape the bottom, and I put it in my Let's Resin mixing tool. Guys, I have to be honest with you. I have absolutely trashed this. I've trashed it. I spilled resin on the actual machine. It's now a little bit rubbish. I have spent my own money and bought myself a brand new machine. So now I'll have two. One that's just not great because I've kind of trashed the bottom, and then a second one that is brand new. So it will be really handy for me in my hands. So, okay, back to the video. The machine has done its thing. It has mixed up my resin for a good 5-10 minutes. I'm ready to go. I've added in some of that shell pigment. Now this is white satin mica. It is absolutely stunning. It was sent to me by Petra Youngblood. I will leave Petra's Etsy details down below. But it was at this point, I just felt like it was too bright. I definitely wanted it more moody, more creamy to match the sticker. So I grabbed some Resin Pro. Now, I don't even know what colour this is. I can only describe it as like a beigey pinky sand colour. I figured this would muddy up my already stunning concoction here. That white pearl and the the white mica and the pearl that used to be from Just For You Online. Okay, sorry, I'm going back on one, but that pearl pigment mica was from Just For You Online, which is now Apex, and they do not sell colours anymore. So again, any colours will do, whatever you've got to hand. And I then felt like this colour, oh gosh, guys, champagne. That's the only way I can describe this. Stunning. And I felt like this was the closest match I could get to that sticker at all. Like, if I couldn't have tried better if I tried. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't think I make sense anymore at all, guys. I didn't have enough resin, the irony of it this time not being enough resin, so I did have to make up another batch, and I just added in a bit more of that powder. Not quite the same colour as before, but I filled this tray right to the very top, and then it was just a case of walking away for another 24 hours and letting these cure up before demoulding. I don't want to tell you what the back of this one reminds me of. Quite frankly, I think we can all see it. Let's just get this tray turned over as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. That red is definitely giving me American vintage vibes. Is anyone else with me on that? Like metal road sign American vintage. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm glad I added the black because it definitely, definitely works. And the colour match for me is pretty spot on. I tell you now, I could not have done it better. Now, at this point, I've found the best way to actually be able to peel these UVDTF stickers is if you cut around them first. You're almost creating a jaggedy edge, and then immediately I can find the edge and peel it back. Whereas if I don't cut these, I find it really hard to find the peely bit, you know, the peel, and it just takes me forever. I'm using a scraping tool to get this scraped utterly to the surface. You can see where the air is being pushed out, and if this is not colour matched to perfection, I like some days, guys, I don't even know who Claire is. Like, how did I do that? And then other days, I get it so wrong, and yeah, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, it's practically invisible. Like at this point, I feel like there's not even a colour on that sticker. Like it just blends so perfectly with my background, and that's exactly what I wanted. Don't forget to peel off the protective layer from your UVDTF stickers, and once that's peeled off, we are ready for the top coat. But of course, we have to move on to the second tray because this second sticker is just hilariously funny, like brilliantly funny. Again, I sent these images over to Amanda. She made them for me, so thank you so much to Amanda. But here we are on this one. If I had feelings, if I had feelings, they'd be for you. I just think that is hilarious. This one came out great. Again, Druzy Edge mould from Moulds and Shapes. Again, linked below. Stunning, stunning edge. And I'm not going to lie, it already looks like a pizza at this point. Because look at this sticker. I don't need a pizza. I don't need a Valentine, guys. Seriously. That was really funny until I messed it up. I don't need a Valentine. I need pizza. But like, it was only at this moment in time, I realised the typo. There was 2 A's. Like, I did not see this. I did not see this when I sent it to Amanda. Amanda did not see it. I've already spoken to Amanda, obviously. And guys, I'm not laying any blame with anyone but myself. But my patrons didn't even see it. I sent this over to my patrons over on my Patreon, and I was like, guys, check out these stickers. Are they not the funniest stickers you've ever seen? And everyone was so supportive and on my side. Like, yes, they're hilarious. None of us No, guys, I've got like 100 and something patrons, okay? None of us noticed the typo. But you know what? I'm here for it. We're gonna heal it. We're gonna make it better. We're gonna do a little surgery, and we're gonna make it go away. And no one's ever gonna know, apart from me, you, Amanda, my patrons, and you, and the rest of YouTube. But you know, if I was to sell this tomorrow and they didn't watch my channel, I swear they wouldn't know anything was ever wrong. My first plan was to grab a biro, just a black biro, and try and scribble in. That did not work. Like, you can see on these scrolls, they've got this like pen line. This graphic design is like a pen line, right? So I thought I'll just add to the pen and it won't look any different to the rest of the scrolls. So I decided at that point to add in some of the red acrylic paint pen from Let's Resin, which covered it up like a dream. I then blended and made it murky and muddy with a little bit of the black acrylic. Yes, it looks muddy. Does it? Yes, you can see it. Yes, you can. I didn't do a great job, but I covered it up. I was hoping that once it had a resin top coat and you didn't really focus on the detail, you didn't look closely, no one would ever really know. At this point, I want to make sure that the acrylic pen, the biro, everything I've done here is not going to bleed into the epoxy resin. I didn't want to risk it. I couldn't be sure if it would or if it wouldn't. So I am going to seal those areas in using the Let's Resin UV resin just for my own peace of mind. I didn't want to just go ahead and do a top coat just in case anything started to bleed up. And this worked a dream, an absolute dream. Just a small amount of that UV resin, using a gloved hand, smushing it down and rubbing it all over the surface to make sure that I haven't got a big blob of resin there. It's going to be smoothed down flat. But just rubbing it all over. Just to be sure, just to be safe. Of course, once I've done this to this section and then the bottom section, I also added 2 little white dots. I'm going to just cure this under my UV light. This is the portable UV light from Let's Resin. Again, game-changing piece of machinery, guys. Honestly, that and the resin mixing machines. I'm so buzzing that I've now got 2 resin mixing machines. Okay, one has got a really terrible destroyed base. Basically, I spilled a load of resin on the physical base of the machine and I cannot get it off. I cannot get it off. But I'm laying down some black vinyl, some of the matte, like old black matte. I'm laying that down and it's okay. I've also destroyed the mixing stirrer stick because I wasn't looking after it as well as I should have been looking after it and cleaning it after every single. I thought maybe I could use it a few times and then peel it off, but it just didn't work. So luckily I've also got some extra stirring sticks now, so it's all good. But here we are. I've used the Let's Resin heat gun to heat these well and truly. All of the bubbles are out. We've got an absolutely perfect top coat. The top coat resin is of course the Apex again. I love them. I absolutely love them. Now, I am usually the first person to say that if you're using a UVDTF, try and put more detail into the background, you know, to tie in with your UVDTF. But in this case, absolutely not. Like, I needed these simple, I needed these retro vintage vibes. I wanted plain. And the colour match, I am so proud of the colour match. I just cannot get over it. Like I said, some days I can do it and other days I just can't even speak. So here we are. I love both of them. Sorry if that noise was weird. George just got home from the park with hubby. So yeah, top coats, absolute perfection. I truly do love both trays. Even this, where I tried to disguise it and we did a little bit of surgery on it. I don't think it's horrific unless you zoom all the way in. Just don't do that and then no one will ever know. I just think they bring a smile to my face. They're hilariously funny. And yeah, I don't need a Valentine. I need pizza. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel the same way. If I had feelings, they'd be for you. Equally hilarious, funny. Amanda, thank you so much for creating these UVDTFs for me. Guys, if you need a UVDTF, hit Amanda up. I will leave her details down below. Thank you so much to Moulds and Shapes for sending these over to me, and for everything else in between, I will leave links down below. I hope you feel inspired. Let me know, are you a Valentine's lover or a Valentine's hater stroke disliker? Let me know in the comment section. I will see you all in the next video.